Alright, good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This one might be a little interesting because I am recording this in the morning. I usually record it a little later in the day. So I am just waking up. I'm a little tired. I've had some unencouraging few days. So I am a little bit down, I would say. I don't want to say I'm down, but I'm just unencouraged. So, and this chapter is called Golden Girl. So it's a little interesting, a little weird. I don't know what to expect. I have no thoughts going into this chapter, but we're gonna read it. We're gonna dissect it a little bit. I'm gonna interject my thoughts. Y'all already know how this goes. Y'all know what the vibe is. We're gonna read it and see if we can learn something about ourselves today. So it is episode 5, chapter 5, and it's called Golden Girls. And it starts off like in the thickest New York accent you can imagine. One old lady says to another, "Let's have a strawberry shortcake to celebrate another day on Earth." When the cake arrives, the lady asks the waitress, "Did you remember to take out the calories?" Okay. It was a Golden Girls moment, and it also reminded me of a never ending power we have to paint the world we want to see. There's a lot of bullshit in the world that I agree with. There is a lot of bullshit in the world, and sometimes we create the bullshit, sometimes we are a part of the bullshit, but we can wake up and decide not to be a part of that. There's a lot of bullshit in the world. I spent a majority of my artistic existence trying to shine a light on that bullshit. Same. I feel like I point out a lot of bullshit sometimes too. The result of doing so requires me to dig deeper into issues and myself, and if I ever wanted to have anything new to say without sounding like a complete hypocrite with opinions on issues we all contribute to. Mm, okay, I'll get back to that part. I'm not too sure how I feel about that part yet. I learned a lot about how truth has no place in a world where people only want to see two sides, their sides and the other side. The world is 10 shades of gray, but not very convenient for those who want to see in black and white, since that's how they choose to paint the picture. Whew. That's crazy that that's that's crazy that this chapter is somewhat like this because as I said earlier, I am a little down, so I am seeing more. I always see gray. Like my life, I always walk around seeing gray, not in terms of like a negative where I can see different angles to all situations. And what this part is saying that is people that either want to see their way or the other side. I mean, sometimes there's gray areas. So me, I always see gray areas. Of course, I always see my side because I'm living my side. I can see the other side, right? And I can see where both of us could be wrong, and there'll be a third side, or there'll be multiple other sides that we haven't been able to dissect because we're either too concerned about our sides or the other side. So it is somewhat coming to a middle ground where we change we change our viewpoints to not align with the other person or the other outcome, but to come up with a new one. That's what I got out of that little section. It goes on to say, as humans, we seek affirmation over information, which is true. In simpler terms, we look for evidence to support what we already believe and subconsciously ignore the things that contradict that. I agree. I agree with that. That's pretty straightforward. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. If we didn't have a device in our brains to ignore what we thought irrelevant, we'd be overloaded and rambunctious, overloaded with uh, ridiculous amounts of information that comes at us every second of the day. I changed the word in this because I've never seen that word before and I don't think I could pronounce it. So, whatever. Um, I agree with this though. It's called having discernment. Is it called having discernment? There's a little bit of discernment in this, I feel like. I believe. Not it's necessary for bad things. If we have a device. Yeah, I can agree with that. This can be a bit damaging if you're married to the idea and the repetition of information and people that validate that idea are all things you choose to expose yourself to. Those are the key ingredients to your comfort zone. Mm. Yeah, it is. I've learned this in recent years that you do have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to explore different things. Like me, I already know that I always do things like I'm never really in a comfort zone. I'm always like doing different things, trying new things, and sometimes I step out of my comfort zone or things that I can say I'm used to, and it burns me. So yeah, it's a lot. On top of that, it can be dramatically worse if the view you have of the world is that it is nothing but shit. Simply put, if you think life sucks, life will suck, and you'll ignore your full fridge, running water, access to the internet, ability to have leisure time, and even complain, contemplate how much life sucks. That's pretty straightforward. If you go into the world thinking, damn, life sucks, this job sucks, everything sucks, then it is. You need to have a more positive outlook on it. And I think I said this in one of the other episodes. Be the light. If the light comes from you, if your light comes from you, you cast no shadows. Which I got that from. I got that from another source. But yeah, be the light. If you go into every situation with a positive attitude, then the world around you will have no choice but to embrace your positivity and work with you. If you go into the world thinking everything sucks, then life will suck. And it also goes into one of my other episodes again, where I said the things that you should be grateful for is like he named them. Like you have a full fridge, you have running water, you have access to the internet, you have the ability to have leisure time, you get to relax, you get to sleep, you know what I mean? You have a bed. It's so many things for us to be grateful for. Why are we focused so much on the negative? And it goes on to say, do you focus on the people who love you or the ones who won't return your phone call? Exactly. Do you share your problems and your joy with people? Realize every thought you have is a brush stroke on the world you see. None of this negates the extreme issues the world is facing, but let's not lose sight of the many, if not most, of these issues were always in existence. Agreed. Like, another thing that I like to say is, how can you say something's impossible if it's been done before? Like, pretty much everything that you want to do with your life or any obstacles that you're going through with your life has already been solved. So if you feel like something is insurmountable or something is like impossible, how can you feel that way if it's already been done? It's someone that's been through what you're going through right now. It's millions of people that's been through what you're going right now. So you're no less than them and you're no better than them. You're just you breathe just the same as they do. If they could get through it, why can't you? They didn't have a negative mindset. That's why. They realized what the issue was, understood the issue, and then went about their way to fix it. And the beauty about it is there's no one way to fix whatever issues you're going through. Like, we could both be going through the same situation and fix it or go about getting past it in different ways. So I agree with that part. Where was I? Share problems. Where was I? Okay. It goes on to say, even viewing these issues as an opportunity for you to find some additional gratitude in your life, in the life you have, and motivation to spread some beauty, even if it's on a local level. Facts. Sometimes you just need to be positive for yourself. Like, who cares what everybody else thinks? If someone else is negative, you can try to show them, hey, listen, this is the beauty of the situation. You're blessed to even be able to go through this situation. Da 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 da. Of course, they're gonna give you some pushback. They're gonna be negative towards it. They're gonna be like, no, whatever the case may be, whatever their argument is, it's all circumstantial. But if you view every issue as an opportunity to learn and to grow, you can never fail, or you will always get better. You will always feel optimistic. You always feel optimistic. It goes on to say the only reason you're not good enough is because you're not thinking of it. And I agree with that. There's another quote that I like that says, he who thinks he can and he who thinks he can't are both correct. So if you think you can't do anything, or you think you won't be able to get past a certain situation, or you won't be able to beat the final boss in the game, then you won't. You absolutely will not. But if you think that you can, and you believe that you can, and you go about it systematically and do what you got to do, then yes, you will. So he who thinks he can and he who thinks he can't are both correct. Which one are you gonna be? Are you okay? When I went to the Tim Burton exhibition, the first thing they showed us was a rejection letter he received early in his career. He didn't let that circumstance change the picture he was painting. Exactly. We all, bro. I don't know not one person that never got rejected or turned down for something that they wanted, whether it be a job, a certain school that they wanted to go to, a relationship they wanted to be in, a friend that they wanted to be, a person they wanted to be friends with. Whatever the case may be, everyone faces rejection sometime in their life. And if you have never faced rejection, I worry for you, because the minute you do, you will crumble. You will fail. I mean, you won't fail. I mean, rejection is not necessarily a failure, but if you've gone all your life and never had rejection or failure, especially young as a kid, and then you grow up and you're an adult and you face rejection or failure, it's gonna eat you alive. So yeah, everyone goes through it. So everyone goes through it. Everyone gets through it. If you go through it, that means you've gotten through it. Okay, it goes on to say, the old lady came up with the idea of ordering a strawberry shortcake after hearing another table sing happy birthday to their friend. She found the inspiration in their celebration and found an excuse to celebrate herself. That's fire. That's fire. Like, I believe everyone should be celebrated for even the littlest things. And it's not how the world is now with participation trophies. Like, you go into a tournament. Like back in my days, and a couple people that can attest to this, when we played flag football and any organized PB sports or whatever the case may be, only the top two teams got rewards. Like, you get a second place trophy and you get a first place trophy. That's it. And there will be 10 teams in the tournament. I can remember one time vividly. I was playing flag football. My team, we won the state. we won the city, and then we went on to state, and we got smoked in the first round. But the people that we played against, I think we was how old was we? We was probably 15, 16. I think 15, 16. And the people we played against, they had neck tattoos and all types of tattoos. They were way bigger than us, and we just got absolutely destroyed. And I cried, because it's bro, we worked all this hard and we felt like we got cheated, because why is somebody that looks like they're at least 19 playing against 15-year-olds? They were bigger than us, faster, stronger. They had tattoos. They just looked like grown men, or they was in high school. I mean, we was in high school, but they looked like they was in I don't know what the hell. It was just unfair. We was given an unfair. We was dealt an unfair hand, but what we did? We played the game. We didn't complain about it. At the time, we didn't complain about it. During the game, we didn't complain about it. We was just all right, whatever, let's go play. We got smoked, and of course, after the game, we complained about it, because it's bro, these guys. We thought we were the best team, because we just won the city, and we went on to state. And it's crazy, because I'm from New York, so the city that we played, we was from Queens, and we played Staten Island, which is come on, bro, Staten Island, we about to smoke Staten Island, so yeah, we face failure early in life, and sometimes you're just given a bad hand, and we was given a bad hand. But the last part of this chapter says, make an excuse to be happy right now and start painting with those thoughts. Life is art, a work of progress at that, and it's only complete when you're dead. Every day is a new day to see it the way you want. I like that chapter. That actually might be my favorite chapter so far. That might actually be my favorite chapter so far. And I didn't expect anything going into it, because of the title was called Golden Girls, which I've obviously never seen the show. I think they made a movie about it. Not too sure, but I've never seen the show or anything like that. I never really knew the concept of the show. I thought it was just 4 women just living in an apartment in New York or whatever the case may be. But I do agree with the I do agree with that chapter more than any other chapter, because sometimes you gotta fake happy and the real happiness will come. Sad to say, but sometimes you gotta fake happy or just find any reason to be happy. Always look at the bright side of what's going on in your life. Always look at the bright side of what's going on in your life. Like, you could have just got fired from your job, just got out of a relationship, just got into a car accident, lost your leg or whatever the case may be, but at the end of the day, you're still breathing. You still have, hopefully you still have friends and family around you that support you and stuff like that. So it's just, I would say always look at the positive. Dwell on the positive life, on the positives of your life. And yeah. So what I learned, hopefully I learned something today. I learned a little bit today. And that was episode 5. I'm going to just call it a morning. I was going to say night, but good morning, y'all. Enjoy.